I felt like boxing had me like trapped.
20 years old, like you not even really supposed to be drinking, right? Like, so you're saying you have some, problems with,
Dealing with death at a young age,
what do you mean dealing with death?
like having people around me die, like that really that do something to people. You know?
How does boxing help you mentally kind of process some of the stuff that's happening like in real life? You mentioned your cousin
It don't.
passed away.
It doesn't. Never does.
Have you ever wanted to quit boxing?
I be thinking to myself like, yeah, like I'm done. Like I don't want to do this no more. And it's like I kind of promised that man that I would actually do it and see it through. So it's like,
What do you want people to remember after they watch you fight?
I just want to remember my name, to be honest. My name is Jay Bad News Morgan, and you're watching the Select Corner podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Select Corner. Today we got rising amateur boxer Jay Bad News Morgan joining us ahead of the USA Select boxing events. Even though he won't be fighting on the May 31st Battle in the Beach 3 card, he will be stepping into action on July 31st. Today, we're getting to know the fighter behind the gloves, his story, his mindset, and why boxing means so much to him. So let's welcome Jay to the show. What's good, my brother? So real quick, tell us how old are you, where are you from?
I'm 20 years old. I'm from Long Beach, California.
That's right, Long Beach represent.
Yep.
Well, what first got you into boxing?
So basically, I just couldn't keep my hands to myself.
In what way though? Like you were beating up your family, or was it like school fights, or what?
When I was younger, when I was in school, I couldn't I was always a problem. And people don't notice, like when I was younger and stuff, like probably like elementary school, I low-key used to get bullied. And that's what like kind of fueled me to, start doing that.
That'll definitely make somebody want to learn how to defend themselves for sure. How long you been boxing and like actually training in the gym?
Yeah, coming up on 5 years. So basically like I think around 2021, 2022 is when I first started.
That's crazy because I've sparred with you and you seem like somebody that got more than 5 years experience. I'm telling you.
Because that's just the talent, bro.
It's natural for real.
Yeah. Just fighting so much.
Natural talent for sure. And then, okay, so tell us, what gym do you train at?
Jackrabbit Boxing.
And what's the vibe like at Jackrabbit?
Sometimes it's cool. Sometimes it's like a doghouse, For a long time, it was like a doghouse. It didn't start getting cool till like last week.
No, I think you started making it cool last week. I think that's all
you.
That's a you thing. All right, so boxing is super, super tough. Well, what made you stick through all the hard times? When you first start training, I know it's really hard to really get into it.
Nah, the bad part about it is when I first started training, that was the time. Like that was when like I was always motivated, always wanted to get up everything. It was mainly like start getting hard. I think after my cousin died, I didn't want to like really come no more. But I felt like it was like I felt like boxing had me like trapped, and I couldn't I couldn't leave, if that makes sense.
What you mean trapped? Like
the
sport
just the sport just like held me hostage, wouldn't let me go, if that makes sense. Like I would like be like, you know what, bro, like I'm done. And then like in my mind it would be like, yeah, I gotta go back. Like it wouldn't let me go.
I feel that. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of some of the issues that you had, a lot of fighters use boxing like an outlet. So how does boxing help you mentally kind of process some of the stuff that's happening like in real life? You mentioned your cousin passed away.
It doesn't. Never does. Like when I'm in the ring or whatever, like every time I'm in the ring, if I'm fighting somebody, I'm never even really mad. I haven't been mad like since I started. So it's like when I think about it, like to try to use it as an outlet to deal with real problems in the world and stuff, it don't really work like that. It's just kind of like me taking the discipline and just keep going, and then eventually it's not really going to be a problem anymore.
Right. So then do you feel like it's helped kind of keep you focused or like away from negativity? Or
Yeah, I feel like it keep me focused. Like a lot of the bad habits I had when I was younger don't really have no more because I started boxing. Especially when I started competing, it was over from there. I didn't really want to do anything anymore. And you find out a lot of the time, you're not really, the people you friends with and stuff, like, don't share that common interest. It's kind of like, what am I even friends with him for?
Right. You see a lot of people kind of being stagnant, right? And then like boxing, you're always trying to level up. Like there's always something to get better at. And I know coming from the hood, like, you see people that's just stuck doing the same shit for decades, really.
Yeah.
Like,
and that made me like realize like, I got to keep at this.
Right. Okay. Well, what's something that people don't understand about fighters your age? Like, it's a whole new generation of fighters coming up.
I think the main thing people don't realize is that especially fighters my age that started at the time I started, even though it's 5 years or whatever, you're still on the accelerated clock. There's so many people that are better than me, 20 year olds, 21 year olds that are world champions, 20 year olds that are professional, like
Right.
my brother, my nigga Ashton, like, oh,
You're good. You're good.
Ashton, like, he's a professional and I'm, still amateur.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
think
like,
that's the difference. Some people starting like at 5, 6, 7 years old, like
yeah,
you said, 5 years ago. So it was like 15, 16, something like that.
like, yeah, 16.
Yeah. So, but still, the talent is there. You got the natural talent. Yeah, new generation for sure.
Yep.
So you mentioned, you used to get in trouble all the time. You were kind of bullied a little bit, and then you ended up being in a lot of fights, like out in the streets. So since you started training, do you still get into trouble out there, or does it kind of make you more disciplined and like more in control, or what?
I definitely feel more disciplined, but sometimes it's been a few slip ups. It's been a few times I might have, been in the street and had to, you know, do something that I was only supposed to do in the gym.
Right.
But usually, every time that's happened, I feel like it's been a dark time in my life, and like I haven't been fully in tune with, boxing all the way.
In those moments, do you feel like you were doing the right thing, or did like
No,
so
no.
you felt like you knew you were doing the wrong thing, but it was just you couldn't control yourself?
Yeah, half the time I was just drunk. I hate to say it, but yeah, half the time, you feel me? I'd be up there, might get into a fight, might have like built up anger or something, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep messing with this person. I'm gonna see how far I can take it.
20 years old, like you not even really supposed to be drinking, right? Like, so you saying you have some, problems with personal stuff going on. Like, what's making you even want to get to the point where you're getting drunk and then getting in troubles in the street like that?
Dealing with death at a young age,
What do you mean dealing with death?
like having people around me die, like that really like that do something to people.
Definitely. Have you had anybody like really close to you die, or is it just like homies from the streets, or like
My father,
your dad?
yeah.
I know the story, about your dad passing. I was around when that was happening, so I'm kind of curious though. How has that affected the trajectory of your boxing career? Like, did you kind of slip up during that time, or did it motivate you to go harder, or
It kind of like both. Like both of them happened. Like I slipped up, but then I like got back on my pivot because at the end of the day I made a promise. So it's like when I be thinking to myself like, yeah, like I'm done. Like I don't want to do this no more. Then it's like I kind of promised that man that I would actually do it and see it through. So it's like that's the only reason why.
Well, he's watching. He's proud of everything that you've accomplished already. You've been doing so much. You've been doing a lot of great things, and not just me, but I've had conversations with people in the gym that they all say the same thing. Like this guy Jay is special. Like he's gonna be something big. So I know you're making him proud. Do you ever use that as motivation during training or during fights? Does it ever cross your mind? Like I know when you're fighting, you have to kind of be locked in, right? But
Mhm.
you sometimes you get flashes of little thoughts here and there. Does that ever pop into your head? Like if I'm having a rough moment, let me make my dad proud. Or how has that affected the way that you approach some of your fights or some of your sparring sessions?
Yeah, I like to think about some of the words that he's told me before, but for the most part, it's kind of just like not not so much discipline or not so much motivation, mainly just discipline of
Just
me just getting up and going to do it.
right.
Even if I could, because you could listen to somebody's words if they, especially if they're not with us and be like, I ain't doing that. But
Right,
like,
right.
I still feel like it's like a discipline thing.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. My other question, where I was gonna say what keeps you motivated, but that's probably one of the big factors that helps keep you motivated all the time, right? Where
Yeah, pretty much.
obviously that's probably one of the harder things that you've had to deal with as a young man growing up. But what's been the hardest part of your journey so far?
Mainly just like getting punched in the face all the time, bro. Like, it was cool at first, but like, bro, it get old.
Punching
It
in the
get
face is
old real
never cool. I
fast.
don't know what you're talking about, man.
Nah, like when I first started, like I was like, feel me, chip on my shoulder, something to prove. Like, oh yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna do it with anybody. And then like, it's like, yo, like he got it.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, you got it. Um, have you ever wanted to quit boxing
Yeah.
often, or is it just something?
Nah, like probably like a good 4 times. I
What
didn't
was
do it
happening
4
during those
times.
moments that made you be like, I'm done with this shit?
Well, the first time was I was trained, like I had started training with Ivan,
Hmm.
and it was really hard. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to quit, just because it was so hard. And then I just kept going, and then like at that same time, my friend had died, and I was like, bro, like they stacked onto each other, and it was just like, why am I even doing this? Like, I don't even
Right.
care no more,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So yeah, that was the main two.
Yeah, people don't know how hard this fucking shit is. Like, they don't know how hard it is to, like you said, get punched in the face, or even just to be disciplined with
Just waking
nutrition.
up every day and coming to the gym,
Right.
like yeah, they don't know, they
Right.
don't know. They get rough.
So, how's boxing changed your life? Yeah, or has boxing changed your life? And if so, how has it changed your
Yeah,
life?
I feel like I've met so many people. Like I've met so many people. I've had opportunities, not just confined to these 4 blocks, and just like basically like I feel like I have a lot more opportunity now that I've been boxing.
What does your family think about it? Like, when do they like seeing you
I
fight,
mean,
or?
my now like yeah, like my mom, like she likes it, everybody likes it, but before, like there was a time when my mom was like, nah, like I don't want you to box because like you're gonna get brain damage and
Right.
stuff. So it was like that was a big thing. But she come every time I fight, and she support me. So
Yeah, tell her you'll be fine, because you're hard to hit. You slick
yeah,
as fuck. Like,
yeah.
it's hard to get a clean lick on you. I'm telling everybody now, if you got to fight bad news, it's bad news for you for sure. Do you fight more for yourself, your family, or something bigger than all that?
I feel like it's for my family more than anything. Because at the end of the day, like I want to be a professional. Of course, I want like all the accolades and stuff, but like I just want to have enough money to get my family out the hardships that we deal with every day.
What kind of hardships? Like, if you had to think of like some of the hardest things that you're dealing with, like personally, aside from obviously the death and stuff that we talked about.
I feel like it's just a lot of strain on my brother to like take care of the whole family and stuff. So I just basically I don't want to be you know, another hand open waiting for him to give me something rather
Right.
than being able to help everybody so they don't have to deal with that no more.
Yeah, I think you're right at that age too, where it's like, obviously you're a man, you're a grown man, but
Yeah.
coming from a boy, that transition into manhood is like, it's a big deal where you
Yeah.
don't have people taking care of you no more. You have to actually
You got to get up and go and get it.
get
Yeah.
it yourself. Yeah, and sometimes you have other people that you got to take care of, depending on your situation or whatever. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right at that big transition part right now, and it's tough, I'm sure.
Yeah. And imagine that you transitioning into that, and then on top of that, you got to come to the gym and get punched in the face every day.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like one of them.
That leads me to my next question. So, what emotions do you release when you are in the ring?
I mean, for the most part, like I said, I feel like I haven't been angry in a long time, like actually mad or like wanted to go in there and like, you know, kill somebody or take somebody's head off. But, for the most part, of course, you're going to, you're going to expel a lot of frustration with other things, especially. So I feel like that's like one of the main things, most likely.
I mean, a lot of young fighters do deal with like anger issues or a lot of pressure. Has boxing helped you with any of that, like in real life or
Yeah.
through training?
Yeah. See, now I feel like I'm like low key contradicting myself now because of that. But I feel like I've been a lot more like less aggressive and like less like irritable with real life situations because I'm in here doing this. And half the time I'd be too tired to even be mad at anybody,
Right.
if that makes sense.
No, I mean, that's not contradictory. Like, you just it sounds like you like use your whatever pressure or anger you have, and you like focus it and like use that as like
Yeah.
an energy source, right?
Yeah.
Rather than doing some dumb shit out in the streets or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
And by the time you're outside, it's kind of like I'm too tired to even do anything.
Right.
So it don't
Can't even
matter.
engage.
Yeah.
All right. So if I had to think, if you had to think, what's like one big lesson that boxing has taught you?
I tell a lot of people this. I think the main thing is when I first started, I told a lot of people like, oh yeah, I don't care who it is. Like, I'm better, right? I don't care who it is. I always got that chip on my shoulder, that ego thing, right? I always told everybody that like I didn't care like what it was. Like, if we get in the ring, like you gonna have like you're losing,
Right. Right.
Basically, I feel like the biggest thing that it's taught me is like eventually somebody gonna punch your ticket, basically. Somebody gonna punch your ticket.
So it humbled you a little bit in a way, right?
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing it taught me, like not having ego when I come in here.
Right. Well, from the way that I see it, like in the way that I see you train, and a lot of people train, especially at Jackrabbit, where it's like you will get humbled real quick, especially in this gym, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you specifically, you use that as like a catalyst to train even harder because you know that there's somebody that's better than you, right? Or there's somebody that's gonna constantly raise the bar for you.
Yeah, and even that, like I'm trying to like prove a point, or I'm trying to like prove to everybody that like I deserve to be here, like I deserve to be training among the people I'm training with.
Right.
And then at the same time, it's like I'm trying to have a ego thing going on at the same time while I'm thinking that. So it's like that taught me to like drop that and just like come here to learn, and that's it.
Yeah. The way I look at it, I feel like it's better to have confidence more so than ego. Ego.
I mean, but that's what it was.
Trouble,
like
right?
I could feel like it wasn't confidence; it was an ego.
Ego. Yeah.
Like I felt like if somebody like hurt me or something, I got hit like really hard, I lost a round, like I would have that ego thing.
Yeah.
Like I would want to go home, like yo, I don't want to do this no more, just because of that. But like, bro, it's a learning experience all the time, and I didn't understand that till like 2 years in.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, shit, that's smart of you to be able to at least recognize that instead of carrying that ego. We see some professional boxers in their 30s and, you know, at the late stages of their career that still carry that ego around, and it sometimes can hurt them, you know. Even though you are a young boxer, there's even younger boxers, you know, kids that are watching you train all the time. Is there any example that you want to set for the kids that are watching you, or, you know, the younger generation that's going to come behind you to something that you want to show them?
If you gonna start, stay at it, and don't. I would appreciate like if they didn't do the things that I did, you know, like start late. Because my mom actually asked me if I wanted to box when I was 12, or no, I was 11, and I lived down the street.
Right.
I lived right on the other block. She said, "Hey, you want to go train at that gym? You want to start boxing?" I said, "Nah, it's corny."
Why though?
I was just a dumb kid. I didn't care. I'm fighting all the time regardless. So why wouldn't I just go start boxing? I said, nah, it's corny. I don't want to do it.
Right. So when you were fighting as a kid, were you winning those fights, or
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah, you don't want to win all of them? You don't want to start training?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. See, I was a dumb kid. I just didn't care.
I see. Okay. All right. I got you. If I'm not mistaken, you got an injury, so you can't fight on this upcoming May 31st card, right? But
Yeah.
you are planning to fight on the July 31st card.
Yeah.
So what can fans expect from you on that day?
What's a good word? It ain't going to full 3 ever.
I mean, but do you fight for like? Do you try to be entertaining? Do you try to be smart? Do you try to be just go knock somebody out?
I try to be smart more than anything because I don't like getting hit. I don't really like getting hit too much, you
Right.
know? So I try to be smart more than anything. But if I feel like you don't got it, I'm going to run through you.
What's your mindset going into the next fight? Have you already started thinking about like how you want to approach the fight, or
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
So then, what's the mindset looking like?
And basically, like, just like staying in the gym, staying consistent, and just like actually just putting in the work, to be honest.
When it comes to boxing, you plan to go pro?
Yeah.
And what's your overall dream in the end? Like if you had a perfect scenario, a perfect boxing career, what does that dream scenario look like for you?
Amateur for a little bit, you know, or amateur for a minute for like 2 more years. Go to nationals, win nationals, go to the Olympics, get any medal in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
After that, go pro. Become a world champion.
And how many amateur fights do you have right now?
Only like 4, bro.
4. So yeah, but you're only 5 years in. Like I said, you fight like you got 10, 15 years experience, but 5 years, I mean, that's still really kind of like, when it comes to boxing, that's infancy stage, right? Like, or that's like toddler stage almost, but you still got the skills, like you carry yourself like a 10-year, like you've been doing it for 10 years or more.
Yeah.
So then if the dream is to become pro and everything, what would it mean to you if you were to become pro and start winning some fights at that level?
I mean, it would mean everything, but to be honest, I'm like more grounded on the fact that like I just want to get a medal in the Olympics, because people don't actually know this. My grandpa, he went to the Olympics. He got bronze medal.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He went to the Olympics like 1960, like Tokyo. He got a bronze medal.
That's crazy. Do you still have the medal around somewhere?
My mom got it.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope as hell. So when you are fighting, do you hear the crowd noise at all? Do you notice any of that?
Nah.
Okay, so
Nah, I don't notice nothing.
that takes away my next question then, because I would say, what does the crowd support mean? Like, or
I mean, for the most part, the only time I really notice it is if like if they get an 8 count. If they get an 8 count and I get like after that I'm like, all right, he got an 8 count, I could calm down for a little bit. I hear everybody screaming and stuff, kind of like boot me up.
right? What about like when you're walking into the ring? Do you notice the crowd at all, or you just locked in?
Yeah, I noticed if they make themselves known. Like the last fight, you know, like I was turned around, I was looking at the the corner. I'm looking at the corner and I just hear everybody screaming. I turn and then it's like I remember that they right there.
Right.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
like one of them.
What do you want people to remember after they watch you fight?
I just want to remember my name, to be honest. That's all I care about.
But do you want to be known more as like? I mean, you already said you want to be like a smart fighter, but are you looking like for like the Floyd blueprint, where it's like almost to the point where like, man, he's kind of boring. Like he never gets into no like real fights. Like he kind of runs a little bit. Or do you want to be?
I feel like he's too nice for that. I'm not nice enough for that. That's like the problem.
I see that.
I feel like I'm like it's not gonna look like that ever.
I mean, you got the slickness, but yeah,
I mean, definitely, but like even how I be moving, like I don't like be moving like that. You
yeah,
know? I don't want to sit on the corner, or I don't want to sit on ropes like that.
yeah.
I'm
no,
too
I
tall
feel
for that.
All right. So look, this next segment, I'm gonna do like rapid fire questions. I want you to just answer the question as fast as you can. It shouldn't be too hard. I don't think these questions are too challenging or anything, so you should be able to answer pretty quick.
All right.
Who's your favorite boxer?
Adrian Broner.
If you had a dream fight location, where would it be at?
Africa.
What's your favorite food after a training session? If you're not cutting weight,
Oh, I low-key want a burger every time.
burger's a good choice. All right. What song would you walk out to if you're fighting right now?
He's the greatest dancer by Sister Sledge.
What is your favorite thing to do outside of boxing?
Video games.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Awkward.
That's 1 word.
Funny.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I can't think of nothing.
Slick. I'm gonna give you one. Who talks the most at the gym?
Bruh, Bill, bruh. Like, bruh, you just walk up to you and say whatever.
Yeah, Bill will keep you going. Bill, sometimes you gotta shh, keep it quiet. We're training, bruh. Who's the hardest puncher you've ever sparred?
Damn, there's been a couple, but like the main one I can think of, probably like John.
John. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got in the ring with John, but he does look like he hits
Yeah.
hard. Yeah. What's your favorite music before training?
Ugh. Rap music, yeah.
Rap,
Yeah.
trap rap.
Like Playboy Cardi.
Okay. I don't know what you would
Yeah,
consider
you
that.
don't
I
know.
don't listen to
Yeah.
Playboy. Nah. If you weren't boxing, what would you be doing?
Skateboarding.
That's right. I have seen you skateboard. Yeah, you got some skills on the board too. All right, man. That's all the questions I got for you, and that was it. Was there anything that you wanted to share? Anything that you want people to know about you?
Nope.
Nothing.
Nah.
Nothing. Hey, you just be Rey Mysterio over here.
A little mysterious. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all I got then. So you guys, make sure you keep an eye out for Jay as he prepares for the July 31st USA Select boxing card. Follow his journey and continue supporting the next generation of fighters. Tickets and event information available at usaselectboxing.com. Get your tickets.